What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Talk About Transformers. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Autobot Slammer from the Kingdom line. He is one of those weaponizer guys that I never got a hold of any except for Airwave, and he's a modulator, so he doesn't really count. And I'm really excited to have him, and I got him yesterday, which was Tuesday evening. Filming this on a Wednesday, probably for a Friday release. So I've had him like 5 hours, and I got him pretty figured out. I'm just going to show you his robot mode, his alt mode, and the weapon configurations that they show in the instructions, because I looked at them just to see what they do. They also show him attaching the wheeljack in the instructions and pipes on the box, which is confusing. I'm going to attach him to someone else entirely. But with all that out of the way, one more thing I want to do is just to thank all my subscribers. I want to start trying to do that at the beginning of my videos, because you guys are, I want to do this for the fun of it, and to have my opinion about these figures out there. But I'm happy that some of you actually want to share my opinions. You want to listen to my opinions. So if you're subscribed, thank you. If you're not and you like the content, go ahead and subscribe. And if you actually watch my content as a subscriber, thank you even more. And with that out of the way, we'll go ahead and start taking a look at this guy. And start looking at the guy, we'll start looking at the box. Here it is in all its boxy glory. You can see the instructions sitting in there. This box is going to go bye-bye after the review. But there his box. Over here you've got the Deluxe class in all of your various languages. You've got a art image of Slammer there, and it looks really cool, and he actually pretty much looks like that as a figure. So there he is in his tank mode, and you've got your War for Cybertron. You've got just Trilogy on it: Transformers, Generations, Autobot, Slammer. There's no Kingdom logo on here on the front, but you know it's from Kingdom because of the packaging type. There you've got the image on the side. There's Kingdom right there. We found it. You've got the image of the Ark and the golden discs and all that. Megatrons, two of them. There's a Unicron up here in the corner for goodness knows why, because I don't remember him showing up in the show. There you've got the back. It just says sold separately down here, and it's for this asterisk showing pipes. There you have him in his vehicle mode. There you have him in his robot mode. There you have his components. We'll take a look at those. You've got Transformers, one that meets the eye. Top of the box is War for Cybertron Trilogy. You've got his identification number, K33. Bottom of the box is warnings and made in Vietnam and barcodes and stuff. And that's pretty much it for the box. But we are going to crack it open real quick, because I put the card back in the box and I don't want to throw it away with the box. So we'll take the card out here and we'll close the box back up. And now that our box is closed back up, we can throw it. And the card I got in this guy, I did not have this card yet. It is Unicron, and it's very shiny. I'm trying to keep it out of the flashlight on my phone. There we go. There's Unicron's card. So there you have that. And now to take a look at Slammer himself. Here he is in his tank mode. The only articulation in tank mode, we'll get that out of the way, is he's got two rolling wheels here and a rolling thing here that is pretty stiff on mine. It's not going to roll on my table, it's just going to slide. It's going to slide across the table. There's no real articulation in the cannon. You could use this to have it go up and down if you want, I suppose, but there are little notches here where these tabs sit in, so it's really meant to tab in and stay. But there you have that. Starting off in vehicle mode, he's got just molded details all over the place. We'll get that out of the way right for starters, but you got silver paint here. All of this is molded plastic until you get to the silver paint here on the white. You've got lots of black paint on these kind of tan gray parts, and then there's a little bit of tan paint on them as well. Down here, that is paint. You've got your SKU or serial number, whatever you want to call it, and then black paint back here. The little wheels and cogs inside the tread are painted silver, so that's really nice that they painted those. On the back, you've got no paint, just plastic coloration. You can see some more of that black paint on the top that was on the side. Here he is from the top view. Here he is from the front. The only paint on the front is the Autobot logo, because he is an Autobot Slammer. And here he is from the bottom, where you see no paint at all. And that's pretty much it for paint in the vehicle mode. We'll go ahead and take a look at some size comparisons. Angle down a little bit. And then after size comparisons, we'll pop him into his components. Alrighty, so there he is with the Rubik's Cube. There he is next to the Gore Magala statue. There he is with Volkswagen Bumblebee. Here he is with the other split apart and come back together guy, Modulator Airwave. He's Decepticon. Here he is with Prime Jr. Like I said, this is one of my favorite figures, so now he's going to pop up in the videos for a while, if not indefinitely. That's pretty much it for him. But instead of getting into transformation or explode and reconfigure, we're going to go into just straight up explode. We're going to show you all the components, put them back together into tank mode, and then go through a transformation. So give me a quick second while he explodes. Alrighty, there he is all exploded. We'll go ahead and look at each piece as we add it. So we're going to start with this gray piece. It's just kind of his back. In robot mode, it becomes part of the gun. In the weaponized mode, it's the thing with the not so rolly wheel in it. And we're going to take this piece and we're going to combine it with these tread halves. So here is the tread halves, there's the other side. And what's going to happen here is you've got a port on the tread half, and there's this gap here that's going to go around this section. So you know you have it on the right side when the port is there and the gap goes around. This piece is the same thing but reversed, so it's going to go on here. The next two pieces we're going to attach are going to be these. These are his shoulders and part of the shoe area in his alt mode. You've got some black paint in there, the molded gray tan plastic, and then the black for the joints, and you've got a tab and a slot on each piece that are going to come together like so, and then you're going to take these two ports and plug them into these two holes, and there you have this part. We're going to next take his arm pieces, so it's this top white part with the silver we looked at. Got a molded in hand and a gray plastic part for the elbow joint, and these are just going to plug in here to this. They do not tab together in any way. There's no tabs on here for them to come together. Second verse is just like the first. For the arms, they're just reversed. Alright, there you have that. What we're going to do next is we're going to take this attachment. This attachment, when it came in the box for me, was extremely loose. I'm just going to let you know that ahead of time. So in robot mode, this attachment attaches here, like this. So when I realized it was loose, I just put a little bit of touch of super glue down in there, put it on this, and then just pulled it off and put it back on a couple minutes later, and pulled it off and put it back on a couple minutes later. And I did that a few times, and then I set them down and let them dry. Before, this piece would not hold on to the tank at all. You would put it on and it would just fall right off, but now I get it on there and it's holding on and nothing is permanently stuck. So there you go. Now we've got his barrel here with the painted silver tip that we saw earlier. And when I put it on, these thinner molded details I have off to the side, and these thicker ones with the circle in the middle I have to the top and the bottom. so you can do it however you want, but that's how I'm doing it. I think I like it because there's a little notch molded in the front of this that lines up with this piece nicely. So there you have that on there. Next, we'll be adding these. These are his legs, and they are missile pods in the weaponizer mode. So you can see the inside of this has nice black and silver paint for the rocket pods. You've got this stripe that we saw earlier on the tank that goes up the side, and the way these are going to attach is you've got a port here and a peg here, so you're going to start pegging it on. Oh, let me bend the arms so they are out of the way, get them at a nice 90-degree angle there, and so you're going to slide these on, and there's a little tiny piece of plastic that juts out, and it's going to come down outside of those treads, and they're just going to sit in there like a nice corner, and that's how you know you have that lined up. Second piece, second verse, just like the first, just reversed. There you go. There you have that. Now for this part, this is the front of the car, and these parts we did not see. They are part of the torso and the weapon component. And here's his head. Hello. We'll take a look at you in a little bit. But what we're gonna do is there's 2 ports and 2 big pegs on the treads, and you push them together, and there you go. And then this area is obviously the waist area, just white plastic with black hips, and this is the configuration it'll be in robot mode, but for vehicle mode you want it flipped around like this. Then you're going to push it down, and I'm going to bend it at this hinge here, so that way I have the leverage to fold this all the way in, because it only comes out for the weapon mode, and you're going to hear it click. Or thoop, I suppose. That was more of a thoop. It's going to thoop into place, and then we're going to fold this up underneath. And like I said earlier, there's a couple of little tabs that go into a couple of notches, and we're going to press them down, and there you go. There he is, back in his tank mode. We formed him from his components, and then we'll go ahead and get on into the transformation. Alright, here we are, back again at our nice, lovely forward-facing shot, establishing that we're going to transform him. Less of a transformation and more of a if you've seen it, Age of Extinction, where it explodes and reforms. With Airwave, I decided to keep it all in one piece and move one component at a time. With this one, I'm going to do something slightly different, where I'm going to take a piece off, and then I'm going to show you how to just move one piece at a time from one half to the other. So we're going to fold this up, get them out of the way, and we're going to fold this down. Note, we are not folding the entire hinge out for robot mode. We're just folding it down, rotating the waist around, and pulling it out. Now we're going to remove one of the legs, fold the foot, come back here, flip out the thigh, and we're going to put it back on. You know that it's on the right side when the ankle tilt goes down like this, and the rocket pods are on the outside. So we'll go ahead and plug them into the upper thigh, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Yeah. Fold his foot in, fold his thigh out, and plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. There we go. So there you have his torso coming together. We are going to take this part with the cannon off wholesale and attach it here, because we're going to have it be part of the backpack, and we're going to remove his arms. We are going to split them apart and add them to each side. There's the big old socket with the big old port, and then you just move his arms down and rotate the hands forward and make sure that they're not coming unplugged. As a matter of fact, I never unplugged them for anything, and if they weren't part of the bicep swivel, I would just leave them unplugged. We're going to rotate his head up. It's going to click into place loosely, rotate it around, and then you've got 2 big old ports where you plug this torso section into the tank mode, and we're going to plug this in. We're going to have the treads facing down with the cannon facing up. And there you go. And there he is in robot mode. If you want to complete the look from the box, pull the turret off and put it on this section of his arm. So now you've got that point there that we saw on the box art, and he's got the turret on his arm. There he is in robot mode. We'll go ahead and take a look at his face sculpt. It is white. The head is white with a blue visor and silver on the little face mouth guard and pipey things that are coming up the side of his head. Other than that, we've seen all the rest of the paint in pretty much all the details, so we'll just kind of let you look at those as we go up, and then we'll give him a turn, and we'll go back down, and we'll give him a turn, and we'll go back up, just so you can see what he looks like. The legs are a little hollow, good because the thighs fold out of them, but with the backpack on, he's actually not that hollow from the back. And if you want to, you can leave the main part on so it stays that way, but you can take the treads off, and this will be relevant when we turn him into a weapon. But we'll take him off now. We pull him off, and we're going to take this part off. Set him down real quick. See, still pretty much not hollow. There's a couple gaps there, but still looks pretty good. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these two halves, and we're going to take this tap, and we're going to slide it into this part, and we're going to make sure that the port here, this post, is facing towards the unpainted side. Plug them in, and now you've got this cool chainsaw weapon that you can port into his arm or other people's arms. So there you have him armed up. Now, when in combined mode, you're going to put the barrel on one of these posts here and hook this into people's arms, but is not necessary in just his robot mode. So we'll go ahead and take a look at his articulation. He's got a full 360 on a ball joint. You can look up, you can look down, you can do a little bit of head tilt. You've got a full 360 on the shoulder due to it being a peg. You can go out 90 degrees. You've got a full bicep swivel because it is also a peg. You've got a little over 90 at the elbow, nothing in the hands, unfortunately. If you use this hinge, you have a backwards torso. You have a back crunch, so that's pretty cool. You've got a full 360 at the waist because it is also a peg. You have all the movement you'd ever want out. He can do a Van Damme and then some. At the hips, they can move all the way back. They can move well forward. If you turn his chest out of the way, you can do them really high kicks. He's got the swivel at the thigh because it is a peg and a port again. His knees go all the way because of transformation, so you know the back of the legs are hollow, but you get a lot of cool leg articulation. No rotation at the ankle, but you do get the ankle tilt, and it does stop here because it thoops into place in the tank and the tank mode, so that way you don't have to worry about it flopping all over the place. That's pretty much it for his weapons. So we'll go ahead and do some quick size comparisons, and then we'll show you how to implement him as weapons. If I have time to film it, I might have to do it to be continued on the filming process. I have to go see my chiropractor today because my back is screaming at me. Get his leg tilted forward. There he is, all posed up, and we'll take a look at some size comparisons. Alrighty, there you have it with our Rubik's Cube, with the Gormagala statue, with Volkswagen Bumblebee, is with Airwave, and obviously, if you haven't guessed by now, he's my favorite out of the two. Airwave's not bad, I just like the weaponizer thing more than the modulator thing, and I also just like the way that he comes together better. There he is with MP44. And there you have him with Prime Jr. Alrighty, moving on to the weaponizer thing, just because I had him around and I like him, and I haven't seen what they look like together, but we're going to put him on Cyclonus just because. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to take his buzzsaw off, and we're going to add it to Cyclonus. It's going to go under his arm. So there you have buzzsaw. We are going to take the backpack component off. Yeah. And we are going to take the cannon component off. Yeah. And the instructions have you putting it on The peg is here, so he's going to have it on this arm, so we're going to put it on the top. Now, you would really want these to be on the sides of arms, but his pegs are on the back, and I didn't realize that. So we're just going to take his arms and we're going to turn them sideways, and we're going to pretend he doesn't have gorilla arms, okay? Okay, everybody agree with that? Yes, we did. Alright, we're going to take his arms off. And for the arms, what you're going to do is rotate it so that way the peg at the shoulder is in the same direction as the peg on the arm. It was already rotated that way for me because I had them in arm mode, but in tank mode, the arms are like rotated this way, or this way. Yes. So just make sure they're lined up if you're coming from tank mode, and we're gonna plug these in. Oh wow, I haven't had this happen before with both the pegs lined up on a foot. So he's going to be super stable on these. I'll lay him down so that way we can even him out. So there he is with his arm pegged in. I feel like we'll get this pegged in. I want to say that it's actually supposed to be sideways. Yes, facing out. So scratch that. You want it facing out. There we go. That's better. That way you don't have the peg running into the foot. Don't know what I was thinking. So there he is on his new shoes. I think this guy works best when you have someone with thinner feet, because it just kind of adds to it. As for these components, what we're going to do is we're going to turn his head around and fold it back in. We are going to extend this out now. We are going to take his legs and we are going to rotate these out to the side and pop them off. Fold this in and then use the tab on the back that we use to plug it into the vehicle to plug it back in. Depending on the figure, it might fit best this way. It might fit best this way, but I'm just going to plug them in and rotate it around because I like the look of that better. So we're going to take it, we're going to plug it in, and you know which way is facing the front because his face will face the front, and this is the tab that goes in the back. So we're going to rotate it around, and we're going to just kind of push this forward and see how it lines up in the back here. So plug it in, get this sitting here, and then we'll rotate these up and get them sitting behind the shoulder. And there you have him armed up on Cyclonus. We'll go ahead and raise the camera slightly so we can get it all in frame. Raise it up there and then smidge it back. And there he is, all armed up on Cyclonus. So your character gets a cannon, a chainsaw, some booties, and some rocket pods on the shoulders as the standard configuration. You could do any number of things that you wanted to do with it. If they had ports on them, you could hook the rocket pods wherever you want. You could hook them to each side of this, and you could make a hammer or something like that. It's, you know, that's the point of this, is it's all up to you, but this is the official configuration. So you've seen it. We'll go ahead and put all the parts back together real quick so that way we can get into our final thoughts. Alrighty, and here he is back in robot mode, and I just left this arm wonky so you can see if you wanted to rotate the arm before you took it off for foot mode, you're just going to rotate the peg forward instead of the fist forward. So there you go. There he is in robot mode. And final thoughts wise on this guy, I really like it. He's my favorite one that splits apart. Obviously, Airwave is not bad. He just doesn't do the weapon thing, which is the whole reason, you know, I would be interested in a figure like this. So this guy wins almost by default, but even if Airwave did the weapon thing, I think I'd like this guy better. I just like his alt mode better, and I like having an Autobot tank. I've got Warpath and I've got Impactor, so I could have like a squad of tanks and they could like mismatch his weapons and stuff like that between them. And that's pretty much it. It's definitely a solid figure. I ended up finding mine at Walmart at retail prices, so I really hope that anyone looking for this guy can find them at the retail prices. It's really gonna suck if you have to spend a bunch of money to get it from a scalper. I don't think anything is worth getting from a scalper unless it's like a Grail, and anything from the War for Cybertron trilogy really shouldn't be. Unless it's on the level of like Cyclonus, I'd say that could be a Grail, because it's basically, you know, it's pretty much a flawless figure in my opinion for the price range and size that it is. But we'll stop rambling. Go ahead and give the video a like if you liked it. Go ahead and comment your favorite weaponizer or modulator or fossilizer in the description below, so you can tell me which one you own that you like the best. Go ahead and ring the bell if you're subscribed, so that way you know when I'm going to post things. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't and you would like to. Watch my playlists if you would like as well. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, linked in the description below. I usually hope to put a photo up on those the day before a video comes out. It's not perfect right now due to work, but it is what it is. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next review.